I was today years old when I realized that everything in its right place is not on OK Computer. That was my first reaction when I checked out the track listing for OK Computer. I said, "Isn't everything in its right place on this one?" It's not. It does have Karma Police on it though. And that's a great song. So if you're new here, I've been doing this little project where every video I pick a movie and an album that I either haven't checked out in a really long time or never gave a shot. Today's video is OK Computer by Radiohead and Gattaca. Also, if you're new here, I have an Etsy shop, shameless plug, where I sell hand-painted press-on nails. I usually have like my branding on the cards. This one I messed up. I cut it way too small. And they look so lame without them. But my printer ran out of ink and I can't stand to have to buy another thing. Like, you know, when you miss something when you do the restock and you're just like, I can't. It's all gray. I'm like, okay, print in black and white. They're like, I can't. There's no magenta. I can't. I can't print in black and white. It's like no matter how far technology comes, printers will always be ass, right? Printers will always suck. This one is Orbital Bloom Luster. It's one of the prettiest in the shop, if I do say so myself. And this one is Dark Fantasy. No, Romantic Fantasy. Name 3 sets of nails that I have in my shop. I do name them like a prog band. I'm gonna listen to OK Computer again. I listened to it once yesterday. I need to do another listen before I give any kind of thoughts. Kind of just like, you know. I did watch Gattaca last night. Kevin didn't care for it. When it was over, I said, "Hey, what would you rate this movie?" Because I've been doing I've been doing Letterboxd. No, Letterboxd feels a bit pretentious to me sometimes, but you know, I like to snoop around on there and rate the movies for my own sake, especially now that I'm doing this. And I was like, I'd give it 3.5 stars. Gattaca's like a 3.5 star movie, and Kevin said two stars. And I was like, He did say Jude Law was great in it though, which Jude Law is the best part of Gattaca. I have seen Gattaca. So this is an example of a movie that I haven't watched in a really long time. I remember we watched it in 9th grade biology class. So I just remember like snippets of it. Guess who got the best grade on the midterm in 9th grade biology? Me. And now look at me. I went to community college for art. I feel like I didn't get to be chatty in the last video. I'm trying to figure out. I know. I'm trying to figure it out. How can I be chatty, but also I do not want to be an essay channel. I do love my last video though. Check it out. CKY and Lords of Dogtown, but it was mostly Bam Margera. Feel the dry rot coming on. So let's do some thoughts on OK Computer. I never really got into Muse. Kevin's a Muse fan, and anytime he puts them on, I'm like, I can't. These vocals, I can't do it. And when I put on OK Computer, Tom York's vocals are so similar. So I do think the album is great, but I can only listen to it like once. I could listen to an album twice in a row to like help me get a better idea. This one, I can't do it. Put it on the second time, it gets on my nerves. There's that. But I do think it's great, and I think it's very influential. And I know that it's supposed to be like futuristic or a computer. It's supposed to sound like a computer. But to me, there's something that's so aquatic about it. And it makes me think of, what's that like 2000s where it was like a computer aesthetic, but it was also aquatic and like fish and bubbles. Fruitager Arrow. Is that what it is? Design style that was prevalent from the mid 2000s to early 2010s. So this predates that a little bit. It's a little bit more like Gen X soft club. There's one song that sounds so Jeff Buckley to me, which this is after Jeff Buckley. I also hear John Paul White, who was from the Civil Wars. He had some solo albums. I hear that. I hear a little bit of Stone Temple Pilots. Like the last song is very like Atlanta, I want to say. And STP is like my favorite. Climbing Up the Walls is probably my favorite. There's something about a song, I don't know if like a real musician can tell me what it is about a song like that that makes me want to like pierce my eardrums with how loud I want to play it. It is like my other favorite, The Life and Times. There's something about that song that makes me think of the album Suburban Hymns by The Life and Times. There's something there, like the filter on the microphone or the effect on it. That also sounds like aquatic and underwater. There's something so like I like music that is sad but also kind of sounds happy, or like it's sad but you can listen to it when the weather is nice. This is such a sad album that you can listen to when the sun's out. Walking in slow motion and you're wearing a scarf and the scarf is blowing in the wind album. I like it, but is it my jam? No. All right, I keep forgetting my microphone. I switched my bag, and now I forgot my portable mic. It's the first nice day. Everybody forgets how to drive. The first nice day, everybody just goes crazy, and nobody knows how to drive. So I'm a little bit on edge, even though it's the most beautiful day outside. Perfect weather for listening to OK Computer. Really nice for cruising on a nice day and being moody. I did watch a little bit of a essay video on the lyrical content and what all the songs mean. And the first song, Airbag, is about having like car anxiety, being in a car accident. Tom York got into a bad car accident, and he has a couple songs about cars. And I'm like, that's me. I have the most car anxiety. I hate being in a car. Did not finish the essay video. I was like, ugh, where's the taste test? You need to break this up with something. Where's the nail? Where are the nails? Where's the drawing? Video gameplay? So passe. My family's coming in a couple days. I have to stock up on some stuff. But first, I'm at Savers. I'm going to take a look at the CDs. Maybe they have OK Computer. But I'm not going to go too crazy. I may or may not have thrifted some stuff online today. It's my birthday month. Remember? I want to get potting soil to help pot those plants that I was talking about. All right. See you on the flip side. Let's do a haul of all the CDs that I found at Savers. There were none. But it's a pair of men's Levi's 501s that were very obviously tailored. Not obviously tailored. Very professionally well done, cinched at the waist. Like maybe a woman had these tailored to fit. I really hope they do have a little bit of something. For the most part, I don't do, but I thought it was interesting that it had the mending, and they look very good quality. So I'm excited to try these on. I'm a little bit worried that they're going to be too tapered at the bottom. I'm dying for a pair of straight leg jeans. There's a picture of Renee Zellweger, and she has her hair wet, but she has my ideal pair of pants on. Jennifer Aniston was known to have every single piece of clothing altered to her. So she had those perfect jeans on. Hopefully they're sick. Are they sick? They're not bad. I'll take it. I will take these as a win. They are a tiny bit more tapered than I would have liked, but I'm wearing the shoes that I would probably wear with them. These shoes are Massimo Dutti. I paid full price for them. Should I have returned them? Yes. Forehead vein. They serve as my reminder that nothing is ever worth it because they're two different leathers. Don't wanna show my feet, but I have to show you. They're clearly different. This one is more soft. But they're like the perfect boot. They're exactly what I wanted. How many of these books have I read? It's up for you to decide. Are my feet in frame? No. How many of them have I read half of? More than I've read all of. So I made my way over to the Radiohead subreddit, and I happened to see that somebody posted NASA's moon playlist. And on this list of songs that NASA thinks should be played on the moon is Man of War by Radiohead. So I look it up, and I come to find that it is from the 2017 OK Not OK reissue of OK Computer. And I listened to it, and I'm like, how come this wasn't included on the album? This is like the best. This would have been my favorite song on the album if it was only if it was included. But they didn't include it because it sounded too much like something that they would have written for the Bends. And they wanted an all-new sound. But they recorded a rearrangement of it. And they were going to submit it to the 1998 The Avengers. But they weren't happy with the outcome, so they didn't go through with it. And then they ended up submitting it to Spectre, the 2015 Bond film. And apparently he was inspired. Apparently Tom York was inspired by James Bond. And it totally sounds like a Bond theme, but they rejected it because it wasn't written specifically for Bond. But I think the reissue is totally worth checking out, even if you're just going to do disc 1. I didn't really find anything else that I loved on disc 2, but for disc 1, it was so much extra ear candy that I did not hear on the original version of the album that it's totally worth it. I didn't end up making my way through the essay videos, so I ended up checking out the Wikipedia page. So if anything I say sounds like the Wikipedia page, it's because it is. But at least you know I'm not using AI to write my scripts. Now, I was mostly interested in learning about Fitter Happier. Fitter Happier is this creepy, like, interlude. It's not really a song, but they use the Macintosh Fred voice to read out this list of things that it takes to be a happy and healthy human. And just this no emotion, monotone voice reading out this list of things is so creepy. And the band almost used it as an album opener, but decided it was too unsettling. But I wonder if I would have liked it even better if they did. I think it would have been a crazy move. Tom York wrote those lyrics in 10 minutes. He was having like writer's block. Everybody else was off playing their instruments. Everyone was like rehearsing. And he decided that he was just going to write this down in 10 minutes. And out comes this like thing. And he says that it is the most upsetting thing that he's ever written. So not only did NASA put Man of War on their moon playlist, but they also named Gattaca as their #1 most realistic sci-fi film. So for this thing I've been doing, I've been trying to pair them together, pair the movie and the album together to make like a good pairing, curate the vibe. They do have this dystopian, futuristic theme, both made in 1997. Reflecting on them now is kind of scary because it's not that far-fetched. NASA says that Gattaca is realistic, and everyone thinks that OK Computer was kind of like an oracle. It kind of predicted a lot of things that would happen. and it deals with political corruption. It deals with technological anxiety and overconsumption, which me talking about overconsumption is hysterical. I'd be a hypocrite. I'm I'm a Taurus. I love material possessions. I think my takeaway from both is that in this pursuit of perfection, we're becoming less human. And perhaps that is what is making me seek out these older films and albums, because they feel more human. That even Kevin is always talking. Kevin's a musician. I'm not. So something that Kevin notices is the production on new albums as opposed to older albums. And he says that they're way too overproduced. Everyone's using the Get Good drums. Rick Beato did that video where he quantized John Bonham's drums on a Zeppelin song, and it took out all the feel of the song. When you put it to the grid, it loses the feel. It becomes less human. And Kevin says that the vocals are way too polished and they're too layered way too much. So when we listened to the 9 Inch Nails album, when I did With Teeth a couple episodes back, he was like, oh, Trent Reznor's, his vocals are so raw and it sounds like him, and it's one track. And he says, bring back single track vocals. Even though it's industrial music, it still sounds raw and it sounds human. And I think that with OK Computer, and even though the vocals aren't my favorite, they still sound so human and they sound so emotional. And with film, I went back and forth as to whether I wanted to talk about this, but I've been seeing a lot of discourse about it online. Other people are feeling it, that the work that people are getting done is too much. And I'm not completely against if it's gone from being like you're getting something done because you want to look like a better version of yourself, or you want to look like a more symmetrical version. It's like it's gone too far. And I think it is dystopian that these really, really young girls are doing irreversible things to their faces. I film myself and I get self-conscious about my forehead wrinkles and how my top lip disappears. I get it. It's your job to emote, and these actors can't move their faces. And it's kind of distracting. When you watch older films and they emote a little bit more and you can like move their eyebrows, watch a foreign film. Foreign films are not so overdone. So they're my thoughts. Would I buy a sealed brand new copy of OK Computer? Let's see the price. I should have looked this up already. Okay, I'm seeing between 35 and 43. You can get some for 30. So I like to really listen to an album like for the whole week when I do this. And this one I couldn't really, it was a little bit hard for me to do every single day. But I do think it's great. Would I pick up a copy of it for 35? Maybe. No, I wouldn't. Okay, the next video is going to be a little bit of an ask. Okay? Do I have it written? I want to not forget it. I'll have to explain the reasoning behind this in the next episode because the story is too much, but I hope it's going to be fun. But my family is in town. They're going to be here in any minute now. So you're going to have some time. If anybody is even doing this. I want to do Royksop, if I'm saying that right, Melody AM, and Insomnia. You guys know. You probably don't know. That I like to compare the original foreign film with the American remake. I want to do the 1997 Insomnia and the 2002 Insomnia with Al Pacino and Robin Williams. The vibe behind this is Norwegian. If you made it to the end of this video, I would really like to thank you. It really means a lot to me, and I hope you would consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. I will see you next time, hopefully.